Hey guys, what's up? C4 here, and today I'm just bringing you a new tutorial regarding Back to the Mac. So essentially Back to the Mac is a application that's baked into OS X, and essentially for the most part it goes quite unknown. Not a lot of people use it, know about it, or they don't actually know how it works or how it functions. Essentially what it is it's more designed for people who are essentially invested into the Apple ecosystem. So if you have multiple devices, for example, I have at home a 27-inch iMac, I have a MacBook Air, I have a Mac Mini as a server, and obviously an array of iOS devices. Essentially what it does, it more or less allows you to access files and screens of each other's Macs over a local or wide area network. So you could be at home, sitting on the couch on your MacBook Air or MacBook Pro, and log in and remote control your iMac without getting up. Or you could transfer files, or you could be out on site or out in the office and access all your files back home. So today I'm going to take you through an extremely quick tutorial on how to enable this service and how it works. And you'll see once you have it, it's a must-have. So let's get started. So let's get started. Okay, so basically just open up System Preferences. It's a very simple install. Click on the iCloud icon. Now scroll down and select Back to the Mac. Now it will indicate that you need to turn on sharing to access the Mac. So just click on the details and open sharing. Now you have the two options here, which I select both: screen sharing and file sharing. So more or less what this means is when you're off-site or not near your machine, so you're accessing this computer remotely, you have two options. You can just access the file system, so you can copy files back and forth between the machine you're remotely accessing from and this particular machine here. And the screen sharing basically is straightforward. You can remote control the screen and essentially be sitting in front of the machine from a remote location. So I enable both. I just simply now allow access for myself or an administrator, and same with the file sharing. Just be a little bit wary. I have a public folder here, no access to everyone, and read and write to myself. Now you can add other file locations in here, but just be very careful, because depending if you're using a MacBook Air or something that's portable and getting plugged into other networks, if you don't have the correct permissions selected here, if you're on, say, somebody else's Wi-Fi network and you have your hard drive shared and it has full access for everyone, for that time people will be able to access your hard drive and log in and basically download your files. So you need to be careful. So essentially that's it. That install is done. So if we go back to iCloud, tick, that's done. So I've gone ahead and already shared my Mac Mini. So my Mac Mini is already in the list here. So for example, this is my 27-inch iMac, but if this was my MacBook Air, I would be able to see Mac Mini and 27-inch iMac, which is this machine here. So for the purposes of this tutorial, I'm going to go ahead and pause the video for a moment, and I'm going to repeat this same process on my MacBook Air, and we can see the difference. Just a moment. Okay, so now you see that my MacBook Air has appeared and my server and my Mac Mini is there. So more or less, all I need to do now is, for example, I want to access my MacBook Air. I've left it at work. Oh damn, I've left some files, or I need to control the screen. So I just click on Adam's MacBook Air. So it has some shares that I've enabled. So I've enabled particular folders that are only accessible by me. So if I'm on a different network, somebody might be able to see the shares, but unless they have my credentials, my username and password, they won't be able to access the files. So that's pretty straightforward. So now I can just click Share Screen. and I can go ahead now and remote control my MacBook Air from here. That's it. That is done. Safari, let's check it out. So that's fully controlled from my MacBook Air, and it works both ways. So it's a very straightforward process. As you can see, very powerful tool. The best thing is it all runs alongside your Apple ID, so it takes a lot of the nitty-grittiness out of it. Last but not least, I'll just show you one final thing. So if we go into the airport utility, now this is for people with an Airport Extreme or a time capsule. So I am in the process of buying a time capsule, but at this point I only have an Airport Extreme. So what you can do with a time capsule, obviously, just to educate people, time capsules and Airport Extremes are essentially the same. The only difference is the time capsule actually has a hard drive in them, but they're the same form factor. They look exactly the same. So physically there's no difference. Just one has a hard drive, one doesn't. But they both serve as a airport. So essentially what you can do, and for the setup it's exactly the same for both, you go into the options of your Airport Extreme, and as you can see here, back to the Mac. So if I sign in with my Apple ID, validates my password, status green light. So for example, this Airport Extreme, I can plug it's got a USB port on the back. So I can plug a USB hard drive into the back, and then that can be used as a time capsule. As I said, the only difference with the time capsule is, the time capsule is that the hard drive is internal. So essentially what that means is when I have files saved and stored on the airport base station, that just means it works exactly the same as back to the Mac. So if I'm on my MacBook Air and I'm off site and I've left all these files on my base station, on my time capsule, I can actually just open up my Finder and it will appear in the list here, and I can browse the file directory and more or less copy or upload, download any files to and from. So that's pretty much it. That's back to the Mac. So thanks guys, hope you enjoy the wallpaper, and please like and subscribe, more coming soon. Once again, thank you, peace.